Yeah, so Kaylin is leading you to the tavern where she goes to drop off any sort of artifacts that are being destroyed. There's like a jobs board there with like bounties and stuff like that. So on the way there, Kaylin notes that the air on the Rock of Brawl is limited, and it takes a while to become fresh again, even with all of the vegetation on the top side. The Council of Captains get a little touchy when people dirty it up, mostly because the Council of Nobles do what they want whenever they come in. She said, so there's a little bit of history there. Mostly if you have ship capabilities of like making it out to the Rock of Brawl, unless you stole it, you usually have funds to pretty easily pay their fee. She said, plus there's plenty of opportunities to make some quick coin on Brawl. She says that the fee is only like 20 gold, so she can cover it if you need.
No, we have that kind of money. It's just to do something for someone and then expect them to pay without warning them they would have to is not a great sort of business.
What happened to that 300 gold we found? Did I like pocket that?
You have it, yeah.
Keeping it safe, for all I know.
Right. I'm keeping it safe because we would assume that it's Erlen's.
Yeah, that it's our money or someone else's paycheck. That's typically what it's used for.
That would 20 gold would be 3/4 of my savings.
Yeah, I think I have around 100.
I have 0.
I have 104.
I think I also have around 0.
I got a golden statuette or copper.
I bought health potions last time we got paid, and then I gave them to Frigg.
How much money does the collective country of Wa have?
Well, that I guess I don't know. But we don't have easy access to that right now.
Well, I know, but all the money you've donated, you're now donating to yourself.
That is true.
It was like you put it in a savings account.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's matured from a couple, maybe hundreds, to a literal nation's worth.
Roxanne will note that she left Worm in the ship just to kind of keep an eye on things. So you're walking down what seems like a long, like rectangular hallway, but it doesn't seem like it was built. It looks more like it was carved into this large asteroid. In the sides of this hallway, you can see there are also big alcoves carved in, made of like storefronts. Looks like there's various shops here. There's like lots of food things. You can kind of smell something like yummy being fried.
Does it smell like meat?
It sort of smells like meat.
I want to get some space meat.
Are you stopping at this place?
If I smell meat, then yeah.
Wyatt would probably want some meat too.
Why? Can we get space meat?
Hell yeah, let's get some space meat. I'm down. What are you thinking, ladies? And I'll look at Abby and Shizeno.
I'm good.
I'd have a taste, but I had one of those weird goo balls, and I don't think I'll be hungry for the day.
I saw the look. I would like to point out why it would be well aware that I don't eat.
Yeah, true.
He'll still... He considers meat to be like an art form. It's like you saying you don't like movies, which is still perplexing. True, exactly.
And yeah, I guess doesn't say I can't.
Roxanne is considering that the nourishing beads that she's giving to people are not necessarily filling them up as much as they are spoiling people's, making people, like, ruining people's appetite, I guess.
I was going to say, I wasn't over the moon about it, but I was happy to be, like, satiated for the day.
I'll shoulder Roxanne and I'll say, well, maybe you can learn a thing or two from these meat grillers over here.
Yeah, so you go over to this shop, and it looks like they have they're kind of like these white balls that they're dropping into this heated oil. It looks like they're just using like a small candle flame.
I go up to the vendor and be like, "Ooh, what are those?"
Oh, these are my bean balls. And you see a lizard folk who's like cooking this up.
You mean it isn't meat?
Well, it's hard to transport meat unless you bring in livestock, and that's expensive.
Do you know where we can get some weird space meat around here?
Weird space meat? What do you mean?
Well, any space meat, I guess, is kind of weird to us.
I know a Nyogi up on the top side that'll can maybe smuggle you something.
I mean, I'm not looking to get involved in anything. I just want to do a little tasting of, the delicacies in the area.
Hey, listen, you said, you wanted some weird space meat.
Is a Nyogi a person?
Yeah.
Or a food?
Yeah, I don't think you would want to eat Nyogi.
Do I see any animals like around, like space squirrels or like space birds or weird octopuses somewhere? I don't know.
No.
Really? Nothing?
No, they have like basically just like a whole bunch of like stuff you would almost see like in like a bakery. Lots of like doughy kind of looking things, but not like baked goods. They just have like these fried ball things.
So the only way I can get weird space meat is through unsavory methods, is what you're saying.
I mean, you might be able to find some jerky somewhere. I don't sell that.
I'll ask, how much for those little bean balls there?
Just 1 copper each.
I'll take a couple of those, maybe 5.
All right. You want any sauce on them?
Yeah, sauce it up.
All right. They put a little this orange goopy sauce on it.
I'll say I'll have what she's having.
All right. They make a little thing for you as well.
How many copper and a silver?
10.
Well, I'll also flip him a couple copper, and I'll say, keep that for yourself.
So, yep, I will.
Anywhere else? Any other food places around here you might recommend? Any must tastes?
Nah, I mean, you can just buy more of my stuff.
Do you only make these bean balls?
Yeah, but they're good.
I shovel them in my mouth really fast, all 5 of them.
I hesitantly, just...
You like them a lot more than Arrow does.
Yeah, these are pretty good.
I'll say, yeah, thank you for sharing your craft with us. I appreciate it. I'll say, back home, we have some of the best meat you probably ever tasted. So if you ever come to Toril, find me. I'll cook you something real nice.
Who are you?
My name's White Graves. Nice to meet you. I'll hold out my hand.
Holding out for a handshake, or?
Yes.
He says, I'm cooking over here.
Fair enough. I'll see you around.
So, Roxanne, what are your balls made out of?
I think they're just magic.
Have I tasted the magic balls?
Is all food in space little balls?
A fair
maybe.
question.
I mean, I could make these back on my planet, so.
It's just that since I've gotten to space, all I've seen to eat are little balls.
When you're in zero gravity, I guess that's kind of what all food becomes.
Yeah, that's why planets are shaped that way. You just spin around so much.
Mm-hmm. So what do we want to do while we're here? Kaylin, you're probably the best person to give us directions because you've been here before.
Sometimes you can get a little lost around here. For the most part, the docks lead right into the center of the Rock of Brawl, and you go up levels to go to the top side. You can go down some levels to, that's where most people live. That's pretty much it. If you stray away from the center, you just kind of look for long, straight hallways. They'll usually lead you back.
Are y'all famous for making any sort of weapons or armor or anything we should check out that you all specialize in?
I'm known for destroying evil artifacts, which would probably offload ASAP.
I was just going to say we should probably get rid of this evil medallion that I have.
Oh, I thought that was her
burning
job.
A hole in my pocket.
Well,
I said that I would do it for her because I didn't necessarily trust giving it to anybody else.
Okay, all right. I'll say, all right. Yeah, I guess that makes the most sense. Let's do that first, and then we can be tourists.
Okay. Yeah. So as you head down these hallways, you notice that there's a whole bunch of metal tubing all along the ceilings and the walls. Wherever there isn't shops, it looks like a lot of the tubing is leading into the shops or away from the shops, depending. As you're walking down, you see a couple of what looks like teenagers. There's a elf, a dwarf, and a few humans. And it looks like they have their backs towards this hallway, messing around with something. Further up this hallway.
Can I do a perception check to see what they're messing with?
Sure.
What is that 40-year-old elf and dwarf doing with those teenage humans?
I was going to say, wouldn't technically most of us be teenagers too?
I mean, I'm not suspicious of them. I'm just curious.
Yeah, it looks like they have a water skin that they're all kind of passing around.
Oh, okay. I mean, I won't. Once I see that, I'll be like, all right.
They're just boozing it up.
Yeah, booze it or lose it.
When you were walking down the hallway, you saw this scraggly old man, and he was handing out pamphlets saying that you could donate or make some money. You could donate your blood to the Nomac Foundation.
Why would I do that?
Well, you could get 50 gold, or if you don't get any gold, we could bestow a charitable blessing on you.
I mean, 50 gold sounds kind of good.
What are you going to do with my blood?
Thinking but not asking, how much blood? All of it? It's not a good deal for me.
They show you a little file, so it doesn't seem like too much, but it does seem like a big file. It's big for a file. They say that they are collecting blood to change the perception of vampires. So rather than the vampires seeking out and killing people or sucking their blood, they have come up with a device in order to take people's blood from their body, only hurting them very minorly, only with their consent.
So we're like cows, but we're paid for our bodily givings, I guess.
Well, you're also consenting.
Animals can't consent.
Well, as much as I appreciate the sentiment of that, I'm going to go ahead and pass on that.
I'll say I'll think about it, and I'll grab a pamphlet and stick it in my bag.
Shazana, you remember how this person was like talking about how large and hefty your muscles were and how it would be such a benefit if you could donate some of your blood.
I'm uncomfortable and not interested, but if Wyatt asked me to, I would do it. I mean, I wouldn't say it, but I would give you my usual look.
What does the look mean? What is the look that you give me, and how do I interpret it is my question.
How you interpret it's up to you. It's just like it's like it's up to you kind of look because you're my boss.
I don't know. It's up to you, miss. It seems like this guy likes you, though. I don't know. Maybe you two should I don't know, talk a little bit. Who knows? I don't know.
What is he?
He looks like an old human man, like really old.
There's nothing for me.
What if he's a dragon?
He's probably a vampire
Or a dragon?
He could be a vampire dragon.
That could be cool. Could be cool. I don't know. I mean, maybe he has a lot of experience.
With what? Drawing blood?
Romance. Wooing the woman. Talking sweet. All of that stuff.
Do you need money?
I mean, I have my own blood to give. I don't need your money. Maybe you can go on a nice date. I don't know. Could be cute.
I feel like I would just look very confused. I don't know what Wyatt's talking about. I have no interest in that at all.
I'll start walking away, and I'll say, maybe we'll talk later.
You see that Roxanne has not keeping up with you, and she's like talking to this person about the device that they came up with.
I'll say, hey Roxanne, you coming with us?
So, she says, yep. And then she like waves to the person and says, I'll talk to you later.
Roxanne, what do you know about vampires?
Not much, actually. I remember there being a mention of them, but there wasn't any like stories about them in any books in the library.
Kaylin, what do you think about that guy? He seems a little sketchy to me.
Yeah, I don't think that they should allow vampire spawn on the Rock-a-Brawl, but I don't have a say in that. You know,
I'm not saying
undead
that
and everything.
I'm just saying.
I mean, it's
how do we know if we can trust him?
Exactly. Especially if they're undead.
I mean, it's good that they're asking at least, right?
Yeah, I just wish they would maybe ask somewhere else.
What do you have against vampire spawn?
I mean,
especially ones that seem to go by, I don't know, some sort of code of honor or law or at least consent.
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts.
Are vampire spawn are they as dangerous as, I guess, it's vampire makers?
Not as strong. They're kind of like their little hench people. I'd say maybe half as strong, maybe a third.
So why do you hate vampire spawn so much?
Just pretty much any undead. Not a big fan.
Yeah, but what if they're like a cool undead, you know?
They're not. None of them.
How do you know? Have you met all of them?
Everyone that I've met. Not cool.
I used to think that about dragons. And then we met a really cool dragon.
I don't think I've ever met a dragon that wasn't good.
Well, I did. So maybe there's some good vampire spawn out there. It's not fair to pass judgment on every single vampire spawn you see just because you've only had bad experiences with them.
Okay, well, we'll just wait until one of them attacks, one of your friends. Kaylin brings you up a couple levels. Once you get past those teenagers, there's like a few stairwells, and these look like they're carved into the asteroid as well. Pretty much everything around on this level. But once you get up a couple levels, things start to be lined with like some stonework. There's some cobblestone outside the front of this tavern, and it looks like you're in an area that's kind of like maybe at one point was a cave that was kind of like hollowed out, so there's like a little bit of ceiling to this section. There are some holes in the ceiling where some more of this like metal tubing is coming out of.
What if it was like a tainted creature? Like, I think we would get rid of it pretty quick, yeah?
So in front of this tavern, you see the like sign for it. It looks like a peanut with a monocle, but he's also has like a wine bottle, and he's like kind of tipping over, and it looks like it's basically a drunk peanut.
Well, I don't.
Not really.
I mean,
do you remember how much I tried to get you not to kill Din?
I ask Kaylin. I'll ask her. What gets carried through these metal tubes?
Well, water is like kind of one of the main things that keeps this place going. So up top, closer to the nobles, there's a lot of clerics and paladins that create water for the asteroid. Then it kind of like trickles down.
Interesting. Do you live here often, or are you just like visiting right now?
Well, I mean, at this point, I probably live here. I usually grab a room at this tavern most nights. Well, most nights that I'm not out hunting for artifacts or undead.
What do you mean by up top? Is there like more stuff up there?
Yeah, so
ceiling?
Yeah, so you know that when you were like flying in, there was like this asteroid is kind of like cone shaped, and the top of it was like these nice like almost like skyscraper buildings. But you came in like the side where these like metal tubes were, where the dock is basically, and you had to go up a couple levels. So you'd guess that you're somewhere in the middle between like the docking level and where you are now before you would reach that level.
I didn't kill Dan.
I'll say this conversation is happening inside the tavern.
After that whole conversation, Arrow becomes slightly sympathetic towards that man.
She's mildly regrets not giving him her blood.
I'm going to elbow Kaylin and I'll say, you think this place has ever thought about opening up a second location called the Salty Nut?
Probably not.
Say it could be a good business opportunity. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'll say, well, lead the way.
And she waves to the bartender there, and you see a looks like a hippo person cleaning glasses, almost like a rogue's attire on, lots of like leather with different like facets and stuff. And they say, "Oh, bring in some new friends in."
Yeah, it's nice to meet you. My name's Wyatt. What's yours?
Barkeep says that their name is Aubrey.
I would say, "Hey, Aubrey, I'm Arrow. Is this where you go to dispose of evil artifacts?"
He says, "Oh, you're here for that? That locker right over there."
Cool.
And it's got like a big like gear symbol on it.
So what happens when I put stuff in there?
It just goes into safekeeping, and usually one of Kaylin's crew picks it up at some point. But wait, what are you bringing in, just so I can mark it down and pay you?
I pull it out. I'd be like, I got this evil, I don't know, medallion or something.
Oh, whoa, hey, keep that over there. All right. And then he writes something down and says, hands over this big sack of gold coins to you.
Oh, shit. How much is this?
Should all be there. About 1,000 gold.
Okay. I'm just going to put that away for right now. Take this over to the locker.
200 each.
Yeah.
Say, wow, people really are spending the big bucks around here, huh? The most I've gotten for a mission well done was like maybe 15 gold.
Well, you're dealing with top management here. And he like nods over to Kaylin.
Kaylin, how big is your crew?
Just like a handful of people, but magical items that aren't cursed sell for a lot of money, so we have ways to kind of fund our little project here.
Interesting. I didn't realize we were dealing with a top dog.
Yeah. She says, actually, yeah, if you find any magical items on your travels and you want to trade them in, you could do that here too. And obviously, Aubrey gets a cut of any of those, so.
I'll say fair enough. I know y'all pay well, so we'll be back, I'm sure.
I'll take the amulet over and put it in the locker.
All right, yeah, you put it in the locker. You hear some sort of like mechanical whirring, and then the locker kind of like spins, and then the door kind of like pops open. You would guess that it has like slots that it like grabs the thing and then like deposit them somewhere.
And then I'd sit there and like look at the money, count it. Wow.
Kaylin, do you have any more business you need our help with?
No, actually, I gotta find my my friend that was going to meet here. So actually, I don't know if he's here or if he left again.
Well, before you do that, didn't you mention there was some sort of bounty board or something here that we could check out?
She says, "Oh yeah, that's right over near that locker." Actually, she points over to like a cork board that has a whole bunch of like little notes on there. You see things for like there's like requests to like get loiterers out from in front of their shop. somebody says like their boyfriend is missing. There's a thing about demons running loose on a planet. There's also a thing about large letters that says water, and then underneath there's like a whole bunch of details about somebody's missing like a ship. There's another one of those pamphlets is like push pinned up there. Actually, there's like 3 of them. That's all that's up there right now.
Which one has the biggest reward?
Looks like the one for the demon.
And how much is the reward?
It's about 1,000 gold.
All right, y'all. What do you think we should do? I could go give some blood real quick, get $50, and then we could do this demon thing and get even more money. What do y'all think?
With you, I'm definitely down to do the demon thing.
I mean, I kind of want to find out how to get home.
We'll get there eventually.
But if we like get there, then we would probably also know how to just like do the opposite and come back here whenever. Because I mean, your sister was attacking.
Well, who knows if Erlen's going to let us though? We're in space right now. Think about that for a second. When are we going to get to go back to space?
Oh,
my empire is probably crumbling.
yeah, like Chizeno has a country to run. Your sister was attacking all the people we left behind.
I kind of miss Kira, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think we really left a whole lot of, oh, this is fine, we'll just come back to this whenever. We should probably make haste as we can.
Maybe we should ask
There's so many people here that
Aubrey?
need help.
Well, yeah. Maybe we should ask Aubrey if she knows of anyone in town that could help us find a way back home. And I'll head over to Aubrey and I'll say, hey, Aubrey.
Yeah.
Question for you. We are trying to get to another planet called Tauril?
Never heard of it.
T-O-R-I-L.
What is it?
T-O-R-I-L. Tauril.
Tauril. Ever heard of it?
Never heard of it.
Do you know anyone in town who might know about it and or how to get back to it? Anybody worldly, well-traveled?
Yeah,
My accent is lost.
There's a group of refugees that they came from like a sphere that blew up, and they've been traveling from there and all around. A lot of them stop here or stay here. You might be able to find one of them. They're called Callidians. That's what they call themselves. I mean, I'm actually a Callidian, but I keep it on the hush because recently there's been a Callidian resistance cell, and I try to keep the nobles, the law enforcers, from putting their eyes on me. So
how do we go about identifying the Callidians if they're just regular people like you and me?
Well, yeah, that's you just ask, I guess.
Ask everyone in town?
Hey, it's not like their resistance cell. They probably have some sort of, I don't know, code names or something that they communicate with each other. If you're not part of their resistance cell and you're just kind of a regular Callidian, how do you differentiate somebody?
Do you know what the code is?
No, I'm not part of that. Got something in your eye?
Do you know what the code is?
I don't.
All right. Well, you think there might be a Callidian from Tauril?
They might have traveled there.
Yeah, because all the Callidians are from Callidia.
Thanks for the info. I guess we'll try and find some Callidians, see if we can get back home. I appreciate you. Maybe you'll see us again sometime soon.
All right, yeah. Seem like good folk.
You too.
Save that demon bounty for me. I'm coming back for that.
Which one?
The demon one.
All right. Well, unless somebody else takes it.
I'll save it unless somebody else takes it.
I don't like pre-ordering a game at GameStop.
I'll head out, I guess, start looking for Callidians?
How do you do that?
Well, shouldn't we go stop by that vampire guy again?
We could, but
I kind of feel like maybe I should give him some of my...
I'll say, all right, if you feel strongly, I could always use an extra $50, so...
Well, after hearing the way Kaylin talked about him, I feel kind of bad for them.
Yeah, it's cool what they're trying to do, change perceptions. I'll you know what? Let's donate some blood real quick. It'll only take a few minutes, and then we can get back to looking for Callidians. So we'll head towards the man handing out pamphlets. Or, maybe I'll just look at the pamphlet. Does it say where to go?
What do you mean, where to go?
I thought he just had the device and he's just going to do it right there.
Oh, is he going to do it right there? I thought the pamphlet was like, come to the blood bank and we'll take your blood and give you $50. Like, is he just carrying a bunch of money on him?
I mean, I don't want to do it if it's like I have to go to a place, because that's a little scarier than just... I feel like there's witnesses out here just in case.
Can I read the pamphlet? Does it give us any of these details?
Yeah, it says like basically the way that this pamphlet is worded, it's like kind of generic. So that way you get the feeling that there's a whole bunch of these like kiosks in different locations. I mean, you only saw one where you were, but maybe there's some on like other places that ships stop at or something. It says something about their like state-of-the-art device and explaining like how it works, but you're kind of confused.
It's like a vending machine?
Not exactly. It's like a little tube thing that you sit in.
Where did I see the device?
You remember seeing it behind the kiosk.
Behind the dude handing out pamphlets?
Yeah, it looked like a really big enclosed trash can.
Okay. All right, we'll head
like
that
a
way
trash
then.
Can.
But like a big one with like a little door on it. All right, so you're heading back there?
Yep.
And then you see him like trying to hand you a pamphlet again. He's like, "Oh, welcome back."
Thanks.
I'll say, well, me and some of my friends here, I think, wanna give some blood. We appreciate what you're doing here. We really like the sort of change y'all are trying to enact.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Glad you changed your mind. Will you be needing compensation or?
I mean, I wouldn't mind compensation. If that's what's being offered.
Well, you could also get, the blessing of charity as well.
Oh, yes. I would prefer the compensation if that's Okay. Wait, what does the blessing of charity do? Do I know?
Find out, because I'll take the blessing.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Too. Well, I'm going to take the money then.
Because we just got 1,000 gold, so.
I mean, if I got gold, I would have just given it away, so there's no point.
Yeah, so the blessing of charity is basically an extra inspiration point. So it's not an inspiration point, it's an additional one.
Very lit.
And it lasts for up to 1 month. So after 1 month, it goes away. So who's going first?
I'll say I'll go first.
All right. You see this like giant like tube with like a small door on it. They like slide the door open, like two tubes like inside of each other, and like the inner tube is a door. It slides open to a slot that has like a little chair inside of this tube. He says, "All right, well, take a seat."
I take a seat then.
All right, and then he closes the door on you, and you're in here. It has like it looks like there's like a little magical light at the top. It's like a little floating sphere. It's like dimly illuminating inside of here. And you hear him from outside. His voice is kind of tinny and says, now you're going to feel a little pinch. And you see a little slot on the side of the wall open up. And there's like this tube with a needle attached to the end of it. And then it goes into your arm. You feel like you're pretty exhausted. The device comes out of your bod, puts a little sticky piece of like burlap, wraps it around your arm.
Does it have like a cute heart on it or something?
Nope.
Okay, how do I feel? Do I feel okay?
You feel like you have a point of exhaustion now.
Okay.
Yeah. And then he slides the thing open and then gives you their hand to like help you out of there.
I'll say, thank you for helping me.
I know I can take a little bit out of you, so.
I appreciate it. So, about the compensation?
Yes. And he reaches into his robe and then pulls out a little coin purse.
I'll say, thank you kindly.
Well, thank you for being so charitable.
Hey, I have a question. Who's running this whole thing? Who's behind this?
He looks behind the machine and says, "Oh, I didn't see anybody back there."
No, I mean, no, Mac.
You guess that it's somebody's name.
Interesting. Then I'd ask who Nomac is.
Oh, just one of the top funders of this foundation.
Does he live in this city?
No. Actually, I'm not sure where he lives.
Have you met him?
Not personally.
Are there a lot of recruiters, I guess, in this city, or are you the only one here?
We like to think of ourselves as more of like a bank, like a blood bank of sorts.
Interesting. Do y'all have a headquarters?
Not really. We did, but then the Carball, they kind of blew it up, so that wasn't great.
Yikes.
We're headquarters for the entire planet.
No, it's just a small little outpost on Orth. It's a clergy of healers. Yeah, and if you want to know more about the Carball, they've been kind of going around destroying these medical texts that the Matt and Sons have been creating. They kind of don't want to become obsolete as magical healers.
Well, I guess I'm next. I'll take the blessing.
Okay. Yep. Just step on in.
Go in.
And the same thing happens to you, except you feel even though you feel exhausted, you feel like a kind of like a light elation from this. And when you step out, he says, "I've already given you the blessing, so you're good to go."
Thanks.
Into it. I'll go.
He says, you might want to maybe take off like a part of the armor on one of your arms."
5 minutes.
Well, it's not the full armor.
2.5 minutes. Yeah, I'll take off whatever I need to expose an arm.
And you kind of have to like squeeze in there because your armor is kind of like a little bit bulkier.
All myself, so.
You go in there. Yeah, the same thing happens to you, except it seems like it has like a little bit of trouble like going into your arm at first. It kind of goes in a little bit slower. So you do feel a little bit more pain than the other two.
Yeah, it's fine.
And then you feel exhausted, but you also feel a little elated as the light kind of like glows a little bit more. And then they help you out and say, "All right, I've given you the blessing." So
thank you.
Oh, thank you. I hope you come back.
I'll say maybe we will.
It's very important to us that you donate as often as you can.
I don't know how.
That he said.
Go for it.
I'm just saying, like, she's not happy that he said that because now she feels obligated to do so.
I'll say I don't know how much longer we're gonna be here, but if we do spend a bit of time or have an easy way to come back, we will definitely be back, especially if you're offering the compensation. But I do have a question for you. Do you happen to know anyone who's a Collidian or a place where Collidians hang out? We're looking to try and find our way back home to another planet called Toriel.
It says, well, I haven't heard of a place called Toriel, but there was somebody who came by, and they handed me this, and he takes out a piece of paper from in his robe and says they were looking for their boyfriend or husband, and they hand you a similar note to what you saw on the job board.
Do you think this person might know how to get back to Toriel?
No, but they were talking about how I believe that they're both Collidians.
Ah. All right. Well, maybe we'll go see her. Thanks so much. I'll grab the job posting thing.
I mean, we don't have to go back.
Kind of do.
We could hang out for a while.
And I'll read it out loud.
Their husband is a ship worker, and that they haven't come home in over a week. And normally it takes them just a week to usually go on their mission. They work aboard a ship called the Skadi. It says 100 gold to bring them, or to find them and bring them back. 2 gold for any info.
It's time to put that true crime information that I've gathered for all these years to the test. Does it say where to find her or them?
Yeah, it says lower levels near the docks. But okay. Like housing near the docks, not at the actual docks itself.
Okay, I'll ask the team. I'll say, what do y'all think? Makes sense to go talk to her first, get some info, and then look for this worker?
mean, yeah, we should help her. There's lots of people here that we could help.
It's like, all right, well, this is the first one, so I'll follow the directions on the pamphlet to try and find her house at the docks.
You are heading that way, and then one of these like big, this like kind of bulbous at like one end and like 6 almost like spider legs thing like pushes past you. They have a long neck that's almost like an eel, and lots of sharp teeth and some small slitted eyes at the top of their long neck. It almost looks like they're wearing like a backpack on top of their bulbous body part. And they kind of yell at you and say, "Get out of the way."
I'll say, "I'm just walking here, sir. I didn't mean to cause any trouble. I'm sorry."
Geez, what's your deal?
They say, "You're taking up all the room," and they kind of push you a little bit as they walk by.
You're taking up all the room.
And you see Kaylin kind of round the corner. She says, "Oh, I got you like a meeting with one of the nobles. I didn't get a chance to talk to them personally. They said if you could help them with a job, they'd be able to look into some info for you."
Yes, please.
Right. Yeah, so you just head to the top level, look for the big shiny castle, and tell them Kaylin sent you.
Okay.
All right. Well, what do y'all think? Who should we help first?
You see her continue to walk towards the docks.
I think we should go help this poor lady first. She sounds like she could really use our help.
You should help the one that helps us get to Torval faster.
I agree.
Okay, not this lady.
I mean, you never know. Maybe this lady's more useful than the noble is. I mean, I imagine she'll be more grateful than the noble will be.
She seems sad and helpless. She needs help. You guys are being selfish.
I mean, usually when nobility wants to talk to you, it's not great to keep them waiting.
To be fair, they do they need our help. You know,
about nobility. I am nobility.
Insane.
True.
I'm an empress. Like they can wait.
Yeah, y'all are from like royal families, except Wyatt.
Roxanne too. She came from a shack in the desert.
Oh, true. Yes. We're both grubs together. I'll say, all right, well, we got to agree on something. So we got to talk it out.
Oh, you don't have to agree. You get to choose. You're the leader.
That's not the type of team I control. I'm not a dictator. I am this is a democracy, all right? We must discuss whatever makes the most sense. We go with.
I mean, how do we even know we're going to be able to get back to Toril anyways?
I will do everything in my power to do that.
Same.
I don't know why I would just want to live in the middle of unknown.
So the way I see it, we could go to the noble, and they probably have connections amongst the upper class, and that may be useful, but we could also help this lady. She may have connections amongst the lower class. Both may be just as useful. What do y'all think?
This lady,
like we should help the lady because she needs it.
I mean, her situation seems more dire, so I guess that could be we're trapped here until we choose to leave. I mean, or I guess until nobles let us. I assume they can just keep us here forever if they wanted to.
The other thing I'm thinking is, if we help this lady, she'll probably be much more grateful than I think the noble would be for us doing a small favor to them. She may be more willing to, put out feelers, get us help without further compensation. The noble, I'd be worried, would ask for more than we're able to give. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe I'm not seeing something.
The noble can take care of their problems on their own.
All right. Well, anybody have any arguments for going to the noble?
No.
All right. Well, I guess now we can take a vote if we've heard all the arguments for either side. So on the count of 3, actually, everyone stand in a circle and close your eyes and promise me you won't peek. I'm going to be looking. I'm not going to vote. So I'm going to be looking, making sure no one's opening their eyes. And on the count of 3, raise your hand if you think it makes more sense to go to the noble. All right? So I look around as everyone's eyes closed.
I've lost track. Which one's the noble? And which one? And what's the other choice?
The noble, and then the like lady whose husband's a dock worker.
So the other one's the doc. The noble's not the doc.
No. Exactly. There's two. It's a noble. We don't know what that mission is yet. And then the other one is just like a regular person whose husband has gone missing and worked on a ship.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I thought. I thought I misheard something, but I guess I didn't.
So remember, you're going to raise your hand if you think we should go to the noble first. All right? Okay, I'm going to look around. Is everyone's eyes closed? Or is anyone peeking? Perfect. Okay. All right. Remember, raise your hand if we want to go to the noble. On 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, put your arms down. All right, open your eyes. What did what's her name? Roxanne vote for.
She raised her hand to go for the nobles.
That's a tie. I'll say well, bad news. It was a tie.
Well, I feel like the core team that gets to decide. I'm just, as much as I like Roxanne.
Roxanne says, but I got 4 hands.
Wait, you'd also stuck here with us unless we abandon her in space. So
valid. Okay, so no offense, Roxanne, but to make this easier, I'm gonna keep it to the core team. I do appreciate your opinion, but I think this'll just make it easier. And if we take out Roxanne, then we are going to the ship workers left. So I'm sorry for all of you who voted for, going to the noble, but this is democracy for you.
So I wonder who it could have been.
I wonder. All right. So we're still headed towards the ships, the docking area then.
Okay. So you head that way and you see this orc and they seem like they are distraught and they're handing out these pieces of paper that it looks like they've handwritten. Basically this says like that they're looking for their husband. They haven't seen him in a week. They were on a ship.
I'll say hello.
She says, here, take this. I'm looking for my husband. I haven't seen him.
I'll pull out the one that I already have. I'll say, actually, that's what we're here to see you for. We are here to help. And we want to ask you a few questions, if that's all right.
Okay, yeah.
So first, what's your name? My name is Wyatt Graves, and this is my team. This is Abby, Arrow, and Shazeno, and then my friend Roxanne.
My name is Mogbor.
All right, and what is your husband? Your husband's the one who's missing?
Yeah.
And what is your husband's name?
Lasgar.
Lasgar. All right, so tell me your story. Give me all the details you can. Start from the beginning. When was the last time you saw Lasgar? Where was he headed? And was he acting strange?
And make sure to add as many details as possible, like as long as possible that you could go with the story.
I don't think he was acting strange. He's he kind of works. He works with the only ship that gets water into the Rock of Brawl. Otherwise, people have to kind of pay to have their water delivered through these pipes. So he kind of does the work out of mostly the kindness of his heart. Usually he's only gone for about a week. Comes back with a big chunk of ice. They bring it in, they melt it, they distribute it. But the only other time that he's been gone for longer than a week was just an extra day when he maybe got a little too drunk at one of the taverns. But I checked there, he wasn't there.
Do you think your husband has any enemies? Anyone who might want to hurt him?
You see her kind of like shift her eye to the side, and she goes, I don't think so.
Can I do a perception roll to see if I think she's lying?
Insight, yes. So why you think that she's telling the truth? She's just kind of like upset. Arrow, you think that there's more to what she's saying, that she's not being entirely truthful?
I don't know if you're being, necessarily entirely honest. It's okay. We're heroes and we're here to help you. So you want to tell us what's really going on, we could probably find your husband a lot easier.
Make me a persuasion roll. She says, okay. And she brings her voice down a little bit and she says, you seem trustworthy. He's with the Callidian Resistance. They found some sort of gizmo or something, and they were going to go take the same ship that they used to get ice to go check it out. But, I thought it would be safe. I thought he was just going to pop in there, see what it was, and then do the regular ice run. But it's been over a week now.
And you're saying your husband hasn't come back, or the entire ship hasn't returned?
Well, both. It's a one-person ship. It's pretty tiny, but it has stuff on it to kind of attach to an ice chunk. I guess they get it from this big ice asteroid that's kind of. They've been taking at it for years, and I don't think they've made a dent in it. But it seems like it's always in the same area. I don't know.
Is this gizmo at the same place as this glacier or this giant ice asteroid?
As far as I know, it was either on the way or in a different location, and then they were going to come back to the ice asteroid.
Do you have any idea of the coordinates?
Of the ice?
Of the place where your husband was first, where the gizmo is.
Oh, I don't know where that is. That's... I'm pretty sure that's pretty secretive information. I just know that he was saying that, it could be a big deal, and they might be able to. We might be able to, get out of the dock area and maybe move up a couple levels to a different house. But yeah, he seemed pretty excited about it. But he was trying to keep it hush hush, I guess.
Do you know if he told anybody else about the gizmo?
Other than the rest of the Callidian Resistance, that's probably it.
Are there people in the Callidian Resistance that we can talk to that might be able to give us coordinates to where your husband went? I think that's our best bet of finding him.
I don't know any of the people that he kind of works with, I guess.
Do you know of a way to kind of spot them out, or?
No, I'm not sure. He doesn't. Well, he has a tattoo, but I think that's just his. He had it before we started even dating. So. What
does this tattoo look like?
It's like a circle with 3 triangles at the top and 1 long triangle at the bottom.
And are you part of the Resistance as well?
I try to keep to myself. I'm a Callidian, but I don't really want anything to do with the Resistance. It just brings trouble. They just kind of want to take power back from the nobles, and it just causes more issues, I think, that it's worth.
Yeah, can you give me a little bit of background on that? Are they looking to overthrow the nobles of Rockabral?
I think anywhere.
Even on other planets? They're just looking to take over planets?
Just kind of redistribute power, I guess. So here on Rockabral, they have, water's hard to come by, and the way that most of the nobles make their money is by employing paladins and clerics and, well, I would say druids, but they have the ability to make water, but they're usually not down for helping the nobles. But yeah, they make a whole bunch of water up in the upper levels there, and then whatever's left over from them, they trickle down for money.
Would I recall having seen anybody else with a similar tattoo to the one that she was describing? Maybe when we were in the tavern or something?
No.
Do you know what they thought this gizmo would do, or why they found it valuable, or what it looks like?
No, I'm not really sure.
Well, it's tough. I know that it seems like the key to your husband's disappearance is wherever this gizmo is, if that's what he disappeared trying to find. But it's tough for us to help you if we don't know where that is.
Yeah, I know where the ice asteroid is. Maybe you could head there.
Yeah, we could. Do you have a map of where the asteroid is, or do you know how far it is?
When you say map, she shakes her head and she's like, no, I don't have a map. I can tell you kind of where it is.
Okay, that works. I'll I'll take out my notebook and I'll start taking notes as she tells us.
Okay. Yeah. So she tells you kind of roughly where it is in relation to like Rock Brawl's position, as well as like the sun, and like basically how to kind of triangulate it from there. So it'll be about 5 days to get there.
Jeez, that's a long way to go for 100 gold. All right. Do you have a ship or something that we can borrow, or are we taking our own ship?
Oh, yeah. The only ship that we had was my husband's, and I don't have that.
We have a ship.
Yeah. We have a ship. Yeah. We just, have to pay some, bills on it.
Yeah, we just have plenty of money.
Docking
have
fees.
money.
Oh, true. Yeah, you are right. We did obtain a good amount of cash. All right, Miss. Well, thanks for the info. We will head out and see what we can do.
Did we ask her if you knew what Toro was?
Yeah. Well, I was gonna. Do you think it makes sense to ask her now or after? I mean, it's not going to change.
I mean, just saying, if we already know where it is, we don't necessarily have to worry about her husband, since we don't know where he is anyway.
I'll say, before we leave, we're actually looking for a way to get back to our home planet called Toril. We were told that the Callidians may know where Toril is, or how to get back. Do you happen to know any of that?
I mean, we've been to many spheres and planets, but I can put a word in while you're gone, see if I get anything back.
Yeah, absolutely. We would find that even more helpful than the monetary compensation that you offered.
We'll take both.
We'll take both. Why would you say that?
I mean, I'm not saying that, but it's like, why would you turn it down?
Well, I'm just telling her it's not just as important as the money. It's more important than the money.
True.
What a weird way to word it.
We gotta board the ship then. I start walking towards our ship.
Well, before we do that, my thoughts were that maybe we should go talk to the nobles, because who knows, maybe their mission might have something to do with crushing the Callidians. They might give us some more information.
I mean, yeah, if the Callidians are rebels,
right,
then
we'd be playing both sides. That seems cruddy to me.
Well, we're not necessarily playing both sides. We're just trying to get more information. See what the nobles have to say.
I more so wanted information. If both of these things that we are currently working towards or for or whatever are against each other, if we could find out to get home before shit maybe hits a fan, then we could potentially just leave. But if we are going to work both sides, or work for an oppressor, or work for some like small terrorist group trying to overthrow a peaceful people, then it might be good to have some sort of plan B to just dip.
Valid. Okay. All right. Good points. Good points all around. Proud of y'all. Strategizing. Doing good. All right. Let's go talk to the nobles.
To the best of my knowledge, not anywhere else these people can go. Anyone from WA who doesn't like it can just like go anywhere else on the face of the earth potentially. But these people are stuck on an asteroid.
Well, they could go to another planet.
How?
Another asteroid.
Yeah, I mean, if they don't like it, they can leave.
Spaceships seem to be very abundant here.
I know, but who owns those?
Potentially them.
I mean, potentially, yeah.
I mean, this guy that we're looking for lives on the lower level and he owns a ship.
It was a one-person ship, though.
Yeah, and it's like his whole livelihood.
So you kind of followed Kaylin's directions up maybe about 4 or 5 levels till you get to the surface level, and all around you kind of see like a bunch of vegetation, kind of loose grass. It looks like there is a big scar in the top of the ground, and there's like a little bridge going over it. The scar is about maybe 30 to 40 feet deep. If y'all want to make me a nature check. So Abby, you've kind of seen this before. You get the feeling this is sort of like a big like river that has dried up. It doesn't look like it's had water in it anytime recently, but you can kind of tell based on like the sediment layers. So you cross this bridge, and then the rest of the ground seems pretty well kept. It's got lots of plants everywhere. There's lots of cobblestones, lots of stone walls lining everything. And you're kind of slowly making your way up towards this big, huge castle-looking palace building that kind of reaches towards the very tip of the opposite end of the asteroid. You would guess that this building is almost as tall as like the lower third of this asteroid. So as you're going up there, you see what you would guess are some guards. Basically, they have these pikes, and they stop you at the door.
We were told to come here. We were told that the nobles need our help with a mission.
They just stare at you kind of blankly.
We're friends of
Kaylin.
We're friends of Kaylin's.
They look over to one of the columns that is on each side of them, and one of them touches a stone that is in the wall. It kind of like sticks out a little bit, and it's like a different color than the other stone. It's kind of like a darker color. And they say, "Friends of Kaylin are here." And then you hear coming out of the stone, "Let them in." And then they open the big door that's behind them.
I'll say, thank you kindly.
They say, "Yep, up the stairs to your left."
I go up the stairs and to my left.
So in here, pretty much everything has some sort of like fine fabric covering like the walls or like the railings or the stairs, different colors, different like filigree. Basically, some of the most expensive looking like decorations you would imagine.
Is it just us in the stairs? Like, is this a long multi-floor?
It looks like there's just like one landing above. You don't see any other like stairs around here.
Gotcha.
So we see a hallway?
No. So when you entered, there was a hallway to your like left and right, but they motioned towards the stairwell that was right in front of the entrance.
Okay, we'll follow that.
The stairway doesn't go up any like further. So it's just like one level, and there's a door on your left. There was also a door to the right, but
they said to the left, so we'll go to the left. We're not looking to raid this giant castle.
As you enter this door on the left, you it looks like you're out on like a balcony, and looking past this balcony, you see like a small forest essentially, but between the forest and the balcony, there's like a huge, almost like a quad. There's like benches and stuff out there. You actually hear a couple birds chirping. And this all seems like it's enclosed as some sort of like castle-sized atrium. And there are like some planters down below of like some like maybe like fruit trees or something. And you see this person in these long red and black robes, and they have kind of medium length black hair, and like they have like pointy features, but they're not an elf. They look human, and they say, "Ah, sad, isn't it?" As they're looking over the balcony. Kind of seems like they're talking to you.
What's sad?
Over there, and he points to one of the planters.
Do I see anything weird in the planter?
Make me a perception check.
Oh, that's a nat one.
Yeah, you don't see anything.
Can we all check that? Or
Sure. So Shizeno, you see there's like a brown spot in one of the corners of the planter. It seems like somebody's stealing our water. Kaylin said maybe you could help us. This station is wrought with xenophobia, hot-headed mercs, and she says you're new to this area, so maybe you could be fairly unbiased and find out who is stealing my water, and I can put in a word with the nobles and see if we can find your planet, I guess is what Kaylin said. He says, "Oh, where are my manners?" Reaches out his hand from inside of his robes and says, "Morgan Kulek."
I'll say Wyatt Graves, and I'll shake his hand.
It seems
then I'll introduce everyone else.
His hand seems kind of like bony and like frail, but also kind of like cold and like clammy.
What's his name?
Morgan Kulek.
Do I detect taint?
You do not.
can you detect undead?
Let me see.
I mean, evil and good, yes, would have undead included.
Yeah, evil and good, aberrations, fiends, undead, and creatures infected with taint.
His name's real close to that vampire.
What vampire?
The one you donated blood to.
One on the pamphlet.
Nomak, and his name is Morgan Kulek.
Read the last name, but I don't know. The last name seemed closer in my head.
Do I detect an undead?
No. Well, what's the range on that?
30 feet.
Okay, no.
Do you have any idea who might want to steal water from you? I mean, it seems like water is scarce around here anyway, so it might be anyone, but anybody, any leads that you might suspect?
Well, it wouldn't be anybody around here, I don't think. We usually have ready access to water, and we need our water, so.
Who do you suspect is doing it, and where are they from?
I'm sure it's that Callidian resistance. They seem to have a distaste for us nobles, but, we provide the water for them.
Yeah, and you said you want us to be unbiased, and then you're giving us biases. I'm just saying, maybe don't do that.
Well, like your friend here said, it could be anyone, as water can be scarce on the Rockabral.
Internally, I think it's them, but she said I was not going to say that.
I'll say, all right, well, if you think it's the Callidian resistance, if that's your best guess, what evidence do we need to give you in order for us to consider this a completed mission?
I guess just find out who is actually taking it. If it's not the Callidian resistance, I'll be surprised, but a name or a location.
Do y'all have, magic spy glasses that might be, telling that might be guarding where you're keeping your water, or do you know how they're stealing your water? Are there giant tanks somewhere that they're pulling water from?
I'm going to take an educated guess and say there's probably not any sort of security, like seeing or scrying, because it seems like divination is very hard to perform out here.
Yeah, exactly. Usually, we would hire somebody, but Kaylin had said that you were looking for help, so we figured there'd be some sort of mutual exchange there. But yeah, we don't have a way to figure out who is taking the water. Usually, what happens, and there are many people who are upset about this, is that people will put in orders for water once they make their payment. We have a complicated piping system on Rock of Brawl, so each pipe is unique to individuals, but it seems like the watering system to this garden specifically, which all of the Council of the Nobles share, is being attacked, as you can see by the dying grass down there. So like I said, I doubt it's any of the nobles, as we all share this garden.
Do you know where they're tapping into the water supply for this garden?
Well, no, that's we're not entirely sure where along the line. It would take us a long time to get somebody and then have them search along the route. Maybe you can just follow this specific pipeline.
How would that help?
Well, if somebody's taking it from the pipe itself, then
find where it's being diverted.
I'll say, all right, we can do that.
Not a bad plan.
Have you heard anything about Callidians harvesting ice from an asteroid?
Yes, it seems that's one way people have been able to get some water, but it's really just a lot more convenient to just kind of pay for the water that we create. But some people seem to be a little more defiant and want free things. So
I'll say, all right.
How much do you nobles pay for the water?
Well, we employ the paladins and the clerics, so we actually get the water from the source usually, except for things like this that go to the infrastructure within the asteroid.
What's the source?
The paladins and the clerics, they create the water.
Interesting.
It was I want to say maybe hundreds of years ago. I wasn't alive then, but they say that the Rock of Brawl used to have water just kind of flowing from a spring, and it would, trickle down the asteroid, and everybody would kind of be able to access it. But I don't know, something must have happened, because that's no longer a feature of Rock of Brawl, so we had to find our own ways to get around that. Actually, just maybe 15, 20 years, they recently, found this ice asteroid and were trying to bring it in, but it's just more convenient to make the water than it is to go out, grab the ice, bring it back in.
Do you know of anybody who might know what happened to the original water source here on Brawl?
I don't know if any of us were alive. The council is all humans, and I'm sure a few of you know that humans don't live as long as elves and the like. There is an elf on the Council of Captains. Perhaps you could get a meeting with them. They're kind of in charge of all the dock working goings on. They seem to have some sort of beef with us as well, but not as strong as the Callidians, I guess.
I'll say, all right, well, thanks for your help.
Yes, and there's an elf on the Council of Captains that are all the ship workers that may have been alive or know someone who was when the spring was still flowing.
How would that help us?
We might know what happened to the original water. If somebody might have also diverted that into some secret storage, or
maybe
destroyed it on purpose so that they would have power over where it comes from in general. And
exactly.
I'll say, all right, team. Well, what do we do first? Investigate the pipeline, or go talk to our elf friend?
I mean, if the pipeline starts here and goes further down, then
might as well just follow it since we're here.
All right, sounds good. And I'll head towards the pipeline then.
You follow this complicated piping system. It looks like it starts within the castle, but they're not allowing you up further to where they create the water, because they're basically pretty sure, based on the way that the gravity plane works, that the breach in the system is coming from below, because it would first reach the bottom and then fill up the pipe, so that way all of the different sections of this pipe would get their water, but it seems like at the top it's not reaching that section, so it's not filling up all the way in order to get everything its water. So you follow it down a couple levels. There doesn't seem like there's any leaks or anything. The pipe kind of diverts into two directions here. One goes towards the buttered nut, and then the other goes further down.
What do y'all think? Towards the buttered nut or somewhere else? Maybe towards the buttered nut, since we know where it might end. It'll be a quicker investigation, then we can roll that out.
Sure.
Yeah, make sure they're getting all their water.
All right, and I'll follow the pipe towards the buttered nut.
Aubrey says, oh, yeah, you're back, eh?
Yep, we're back. Actually, we have a question for you. Have you felt any decrease in water pressure around here? Anything weird happening with your pipes recently?
He says, yeah, actually, I was just about to put a job up on the board there, this past, I want to say, week. I didn't notice that much because, it fills up a little bit, but customer came in a few minutes ago, and they wanted some water, and then it was empty. Earlier this week it came out fine, so I was looking for somebody to come fix it.
Do you mind if we take a look at your pipes?
Sure. Yeah.
I'll say, all right, where are they?
It says, just come back over here.
All right.
And leads you behind the bar, and there's you see this big pipe that's coming in through the ceiling, and it goes along the taps.
Can I do an investigation check to see if I see anything weird, or?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, you don't see anything weird with the pipes or anything, but at first you think there's something leaking, but you realize that it's just condensation on the pipes, and that the condensation is dripping just a little bit to water some plants that Aubrey has back there.
Do you mind if I take a look at the rest of the piping?
Oh, so that's it comes in and then it kind of ends there. So it looks like it's mostly just for serving water.
Oh, so I don't see anything suspicious or a reason why the water pressure might be low?
No.
So further down.
Well, it doesn't look like it's an issue in here. We'll keep looking into the pipes, and maybe something is happening further up the pipe that might be causing your issues.
Yeah, I mean, let me know. Maybe I don't have to hire somebody if you guys figure it out.
Will do, and I'll head out the door to go investigate the rest of the piping leading?
Head further down, I'm guessing.
Yep.
And it looks like one of these pipes snakes around down a hallway. This is like around where you saw those like teenagers hanging out before.
Okay, it only branches into 2 sections, right?
Yeah, this is the other section.
Okay. Do I see anything? Should I do an investigation check?
You see a long hallway. There doesn't seem to be anything on the pipes out here, at least.
Okay, like an alleyway?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's a hallway because it's not really between buildings. It's just dug into like the asteroid. This is all down here is all like tunneled out, like a rectangular tunnel, I guess.
Okay, I'll follow it.
Yeah, so it kind of zigzags and snakes further in this direction, and you see those teenagers at the end of this hallway. There's some crates and stuff blocking the way to go further down this hallway, but you can kind of see them on the other side. I think because you all have night vision, right, or dark vision?
Yes.
I do.
Yeah, so on the other side of them, you see like, it looks like they've carved out a little section here, and maybe it goes back a little bit further behind them. But it looks like they are collecting some dripping water that's coming from these pipes in like a big bucket, dipping their water skin in it and drinking from it.
Like enough to like divert water pressure, or do I just think that's like a small leak?
You think it's a small leak, but they have like basically like a 5-gallon bucket. Over the course of like a week, it might have been enough to divert that much water.
So my character could logically put together that this might be the reason why the garden isn't getting enough water, or does it seem like that's not? There's something more happening?
Yeah, I mean that's what it seems like.
Guess we found our issue, right? We don't necessarily have to fix it. We just have to tell our noble that this is happening, right?
Yeah, they said who or where.
Yeah, so I guess we found our answer, right? Feels a little too easy.
I'm wondering how the Clydians are involved.
There might not be.
Might just be a simple leak.
Make me a perception check.
All those?
Yeah, Shizeno's oblivious, but the rest of you see on the side of these crates, you see that circle with the 3 triangles at the top and the long triangle at the bottom. And you see a couple of these crates further back into the dug out area that's behind them. You also see some almost like a wrench, like tools that have like broken open this pipe.
I'll ask the kids. I'll say, "Hey, do you know who put these here?"
Oh crap! And one of them tries to the dwarf tries to run past you.
I grab him.
Make me a grapple strength check. You get him. He says, "Let me go."
Hold on a sec. What's going on back here?
He says, "I don't have to tell you anything. I'll get my dad after you."
I'm not scared of your dad.
You should be. He works with hot metal all day. He'll melt you or something.
No, well, I kill monsters for a living, so.
Well, I'm not a monster. I'm stronger than that, so.
Okay.
The elf, she says, let him go. We're just messing around.
Well, why don't you tell us what's going on back here?
One of the human kids, he says, we found this hideout, I guess, and we saw this pipe that was like dripping a little bit, and we decided to take a little bit of water for ourselves.
Do you have any idea where this leak came from?
It was here when we got here, we swear. But
can I roll perception on that?
Maybe made it bigger, and now it's basically all gone.
I'll let the dwarf go.
They run off and they say, "I'm going to tell my dad."
Do it.
I'm going. And they leave. The elf, she says, "Don't mind him. He's not going to tell his dad, because then his dad will ask, what was he doing over here?"
Well, thanks for telling us. I'm going to try to go back there a little bit.
You get like a waft of something that smells like rotting meat.
Ooh.
I'm going to go toward the stench.
It seems like it's coming from further back in the tunnel.
Anybody want to come check this out with me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll come.
Not necessarily, no, but I'll stay in the back.
Roxanne says, yeah, maybe I'll stay out here. Last time we saw something spooky, beat me up.
All right, I'm going to go down the tunnel.
One of the humans says, are we in trouble?
No, just get out of here.
No, you'll be in more trouble if you stay here when the people who told us to investigate this figure out what happened here.
And they run off. The elf stops after they start to run off, and they look back and they say, "Thanks."
I wink and I go,
"No prob."
As you turn back around from winking, you see this extremely tall-looking shape in the shadows back there. It almost looks...
Wait, what?
You realize it has these long claws and a bird head. And then you see 2 more of them. And then you see a giant cage that looks like it has been ripped open. And you see in this room, as these things are coming towards you. This looks like some sort of storage or smuggling route, as you see like lots of these crates with these stamps of the same tattoo, essentially, that the wife described this guy having.
Right.
Spooky. Don't like that they're tall and they have long fingers.